Hello.
Yes, I think, yeah, madam. Whether Geer sir has joined?
Not yet, sir.
Yes, I have joined, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
I'm
Good
here.
afternoon. Yes, sir.
So we can't see you. 1 second.
Yeah, I'll be switching on my video.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So maybe next 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes we will wait. And I think our YouTube streamlining is also started, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, sir, it has started.
Sir, we are not hearing you.
No, we have not yet started. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, madam, I think let's take it further then, because we have sufficient audience also. And sir, we'll move on, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone present here. From the team of Karya Kaushalam, I am Ms. Vishali Geer from Met Institute of Pharmacy take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed guest and all the participants of the webinar on the role of youth in accomplishing the mission of Viksit Bharat by 2047. This webinar is organized by APTI Maharashtra State Karya Kaushalam team in collaboration with APTI Jammu and Kashmir. As we all know, today we are celebrating the National Youth Day to honor the birthday of a global hero, Swami Vivekananda, one of India's greatest spiritual and social leaders. Today is dedicated to inspiring young minds, promoting education, and encouraging community service. So, what better way to do than to have an enriching session by another inspirational speaker from today's Pharma Academia? We are pleased to welcome Professor Geer as our esteemed speaker. Thank you, sir, for
Thank you.
accepting our invitation. So before going ahead with today's talk, let me invite our mentor and guide, Dr. Rakesh Somani, President APTI Maharashtra State Branch and Principal D.Y. Patil University, School of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai. I request sir to first share his thoughts and inspire today's generation.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. So very good afternoon, one and all present on this platform today. It's very historic day that we have, in the first time in the history of APTI, the APTI Maharashtra and APTI Jammu and Kashmir branch have collaborated today. Thank you so much, Professor Geer, sir,
Thank
for
you.
your extension of cooperation to this, for this activity. And thank you for accepting our invitation also. I also, on behalf of the entire team of APTI Maharashtra as well as the Karya Kaushalam team, I welcome all the office bearers of APTI Jammu and Kashmir, all the office bearers of APTI Maharashtra, faculty members who are attending this webinar on the Zoom as well as YouTube platform, the students who are attending this webinar physically at D.Y. Patil University School of Pharmacy, as well as who are attending this webinar at various platforms across. So it's really a great day, as rightly said by Dr. Geer, that this 12th January is celebrated as the National Youth Day on account of the birth anniversary of the national idol Swami Vivekananda. So as he was known as Narendra, or his birth name is Narendra, so he has contributed immensely in in the building of the nation and importantly guiding the students. His famous slogan, that is Uttishtataha Jagrataha Prapya Varanni Bodhata. So arise, awake, and stop not till the growth is the goal is achieved. That's a sentence, that's a mantra given by Swami Vivekananda. And I think as we are looking forward that India becomes Vishwa Guru in 2047, the world leader in 2047 or by 2047, I think the ideas and the principles of Swami Vivekananda will certainly be helpful to us. And hence we have a very well-known speaker in the form of Professor Geer sir, who is going to guide all our students and all the viewers here regarding how youth can contribute for the development of this nation. You know, this country is a young country, not only young by age, but also young by, mind and the ideas and the truthfulness. And I think this webinar is going to give a great impetus to this thought process. I look forward to take a lot of takeaways from this webinar, so that as a teacher, I can communicate down the line to my students also. Once again, I welcome on behalf of APTI Maharashtra to all the viewers here, including importantly the students who are important stakeholders of our today's event. Thank you so much, Madam Vishali. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm sure it's an inspiration listening to you as well. So students are going to get inspired. Now, let me take this opportunity to formally introduce our well-known speaker, Professor Geer. So Professor Geer Mohammad Ishaq has been serving as faculty in pharmacology at the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Kashmir over the last 20 years. At present, he holds the additional charge of Director, Center for Career Planning and Counseling of the University of Kashmir, and has earlier served as coordinator of UGC Human Resource Development Center there. He has immense knowledge and a plethora of research papers and presented 42 papers at various national and international conferences. Sorry. He has delivered over 140 extension lectures on various topics outside his department, besides publishing 115 popular articles in print media. He has also been appointed as member of Expert Committee on Antibiotic Utilization under National Drug Utilization Evaluation Program of India by the ICMR, and is appointed as an advisor to the Price Monitoring and Resource Unit of the Drug and Food Control Organization, Jammu and Kashmir, with due approval of the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority of India. He's also been appointed as a member of the PG Curriculum Committee of the Pharmacy Council of India. Professor Geer has served as a member of Institutional Ethics Committee at various places and has been enlisted as a peer reviewer by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council. He's also been appointed as nominee of CPCSCA, Government of India. With this very short and brief introduction, I now request Professor Geer to start his session and request all the participants to put in your questions in the chat box. Sir, the virtual platform is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vishali Keer, ma'am. Very good afternoon to all of you, especially to Dr. Rakesh Somani, sir, President APTI Maharashtra and Principal College of Pharmacy, D.Y. Patil, College of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai. I wholeheartedly welcome all the respective faculty members, all the members of APTI Maharashtra, APTI J&K, and all the scholars and students to this webinar today. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm wholeheartedly thankful to the organizers for inviting me to deliver a talk on this very important topic today, which is being celebrated as National Youth Day. And already the ground has been laid, the foundations have been laid, and introductory remarks have been made about the importance, the significance of this day, 12th of January, which is being celebrated every year as National Youth Day in commemoration of the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda ji. And this year's theme has been chosen as the My Bharat, Viksit Bharat, because whole focus is on Viksit Bharat. So today we thought of deliberating and discussing what is the role of youth in accomplishing the mission of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. A very visionary and lofty goal that has been set by the government of India to celebrate the centenary, the 100th year of independence as Viksit Bharat and convert our country, transform our country into a developed nation by that time. First of all, it's a matter of great pleasure and delight and satisfaction that there is a government which is thinking about the next 25 years. Generally, we observe and see that governments come and go, and they do not think beyond their own term of 5 years. And even that is true with most of the CEOs and most of the heads of institutions also, that generally we do not think about beyond the term of 3 years or 5 years of their headship. But for the first time, I was really happy that there is a government which is thinking about the next 25 years and setting a roadmap on how to achieve that goal. It is not just they are setting a goal, but they're also fixing a roadmap and devising a strategy on how to achieve that goal over the next 25 years. So even if the governments come and go, the mission should remain, the vision should sustain, the goals should be there, and the quest to achieve those goals, the yearning to accomplish that mission should always sustain. So that is the best part of this whole theme. And this was started way back in 1985. Government of India declared it as a National Youth Day in 1984, and we started celebrating it from 1985 onwards every year on January 12th as a commemoration of the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, as already mentioned by Keer ma'am, that one of the greatest spiritual social leaders of the country, who was born in 1863 at Kolkata. And he himself saw hope for the future in every child and believed that with muscles of iron and nerves of steel, they could bring about social change. So I have highlighted these two quotes in red: the muscles of iron and nerves of steel. This is what our youth need to inculcate in the present contemporary times in order to achieve such lofty missions and big goals. Swami Vivekananda ji himself personified the eternal energy of the youth and a restless quest for the truth. And today, as mentioned by Somani sir, we have 55% of our population under the age of 30. That is, we have a demographic dividend of being the youngest nations among the League of Youngest Nations. And the future of our country rides on those shoulders of the young people. Therefore, making these celebrations is very important, and empowering our young people becomes very, very significant in light of, in the context of this very, the theme of this today's National Youth Day. Just a minute. My slide was getting stuck, so I'm sharing my PowerPoint once again. Okay, is the slide visible, ma'am?
Yes. Right now it's in the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you allow me, I'll keep it in this mode only, because I think in the slideshow mode it is getting stuck. But provided if it is clearly visible in this mode, then I'll continue in this mode.
Fair enough.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So the theme of this year is My Bharat, Viksit Bharat 2047. By the youth, for the youth, arise, awake, and realize the power you hold. That is the theme which has been chosen for the celebrations this year, and very pertinent in view of the mission of Viksit Bharat launched by the Government of India, launched by the Prime Minister of India on December 11. This theme is very, very pertinent and very, very appropriate in contemporary times, because we are working on this very mission. So taking a brief overview of this National Youth Day timeline, it emanates from the birth of a leader, Swami Vivekananda, way back in 1863 at Kolkata, who was born into an aristocratic family. Then in 1893, Vivekananda ji spoke at the Parliament of the World's Religions in Chicago and introduced the Vedanta philosophy to the West. So this concept of Vedanta was introduced by him when we said East meets West. And in 1897, he found the Ramakrishna Mission for Social Services. As we all know, we have been reading in our school textbooks that Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa was his spiritual guru. And on his name, he started this mission, whose ideals are based on Karma Yoga and the teachings of his guru. Then in 1902, a great soul departed at a young age of around 40 years. And Vivekananda ji retired to his room and passed away peacefully while he was in a meditative state. And the government declared in 1984 this day as the National Youth Day. And since then, we have been celebrating it every year in commemoration of this national hero. And the different themes have been chosen in different years. For example, last year the theme was Viksit Yuva, Viksit Bharat. Prior to that, in 2022, the theme was It's All in the Minds. And in 21, Yuva Utsa Naye Bharat Ka. In 2020, channelizing youth power for nation building. In 2018, Sankalp Se Siddhi. In 2017, Youth for Digital India. And in 2016, the theme was Indian Youth for Development, Skill and Harmony. So as you could see and observe that the themes have been chosen very carefully with the youth power, with the youth energy in mind, with the aim of inculcating skill enhancement, harnessing skill development among our youth, and capitulating the potential of our youth and channelizing their energies into proper direction, orienting their energies into the right direction, which will lead to the national development. So this Viksit Bharat, as you could see that last year also Viksit Bharat was a part of the theme. This year again Viksit Bharat is part of the theme. So this is the best time, right time to channelize the energies of the youth towards, envisioning our nation as a developed nation by the year 2047, making our India a developed country by the 100th year of our independence. And this vision encompasses various aspects of development, including economic growth, social progress, environmental sustainability, and good governance. Honorable Prime Minister named it as Voice of the Youth initiative so that we could provide a platform to the youth of the country to contribute ideas to the vision of Viksit Bharat. He invited the students of all colleges and universities on December 11th, calling for ideas, calling for their contributions, and sharing of their thoughts on Viksit Bharat, how to achieve this vision. Therefore, it has been called that a series of workshops will be organized across the country, engaging youth to share their ideas and suggestions for Viksit Bharat 2047. And there could be no better inspiration for that than Swami Vivekananda ji, who showed us the way to success. In one of his quotes, he has said, "My faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. They will work out the whole problem like lions." So he envisioned and entrusted all his confidence into this young generation of whom we are boasting today and we are banking upon today. And he said that take up one idea, make that idea your life, and think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let your brain, your muscles, your nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. So today the idea is Viksit Bharat. Today the idea is developed India. So Swami Vivekananda ji is calling upon our youth, our younger generations to make this idea as a goal of their life. Dream of it, live it, and let every part of our body have this vision in our nerves, in our blood, so that we can contribute in whatever little possible we can, in whatever modest and humble manner we can, towards this achieving this goal. Swami Vivekananda ji also said, "Arise, awake, and do not stop until the goal is reached." Anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject it as a poison. We are what our thoughts have made us. So take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts live, they travel far. So thoughts come first, words and actions come later. In our thoughts, we should have that progressive and constructive bent of mind, which will lead us towards significant contributions in making our nation a developed country. All power is with you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak, as most of us do nowadays. Stand up and express the divinity within you. On a day when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling down the wrong path. So Swami Vivekananda ji said that if you are confronted with problems, you should not be bogged down, you should not buckle down, but you should confront them, and you should face them and overcome them. And you should always remember that if you haven't faced any problems, then probably you are not on the right track. Probably you are not living your full potential. And you should, if you don't try a little bit harder than your own potential, you will not be able to actualize yourselves. You will not be able to realize your full potential. So that is the learning that we have received from Swami Vivekananda ji. And the government of India is taking a lot of initiatives to realize and to that vision of Swami Vivekananda under the garb of Amrit generation, empowering young India. A whole lot of schemes have been brought in. For example, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, under which over 1 crore candidates have been trained, and 1.32 lakh youth in northeastern states have been placed under short-term training programs, and a lot of more than 1.4 lakh appointment orders have been issued through Rozgar Melas. Similarly, in case of sports, more than 1,000 Khelo India centers have been opened, and even financial assistance of rupees 5 lakhs have been given to young talented players. And the results we have seen in terms of our performance in Olympics 2021, wherein we have won 7 medals, 19 medals at 2021 Para Olympic Games, and 61 medals in Commonwealth Games of 2022. So the thing is that we need to see how to build our youth army, how to build their potential, how to build their energies, and what are the areas that need to be focused upon. So therefore, the students' strengths and capacities are of prime importance. They are of utmost importance. Our students and our youth should be well versed with all the skills, soft skills, hard skills, family skills, work skills, life skills, and they should be in a position to share a harmonious relationship with their family, at their school, at their work, with their peers, and they should be able to contribute towards social services through outreach and extension activities, community services, and through various social programs. And they should have a very good relationship with their neighborhood, with their faith-based partners. Therefore, there has to be a decrease in negative behavior attitudes, and there has to be an increase in indicators of thriving in efficiency, aptitude, in constructive mindsets, in competencies and skills. We need to work on these areas, and we need to develop soft skills among our youth, which are essential for success in contemporary job markets, particularly in light of the post-COVID situation. These skills have become very important. It is not sufficient that our students have simply their credentials, good marks in their own subjects. Our students are very good in pharmacy only, but they know nothing of other streams, but they don't have good communication skills. We need to inculcate all these soft skills among them, whether it be the communication skills, the skills of self-motivation, leadership, responsibility, teamwork, problem solving, decisiveness, ability to work under pressure, time management, flexibility, the ability to negotiate and resolve conflicts. All these skills need to be incorporated. They need to be inculcated by our youth. And there are 5 main domains of youth development. That is, first of all, how can we expect our youth to contribute towards Viksit Bharat by the year 2047? How can we expect them to be resourceful, energetic, productive? And that is possible only, first of all, when they are physically and mentally fit. So physical well-being, mental well-being is of utmost importance. Then comes their education. National education policy has set the tone for building an all-round individuals, well-rounded individuals who are very much resourceful, who are very much capable of proving their mettle in each and every field. Then they should have the civic participation, zeal for community outreach, zeal for lending hand, helping hand to the society. So civic participation is important. Employment opportunities should be there. They should have the gainful employment opportunities where they can contribute and give their skills, and through their competencies help in nation building. And lastly, whenever required, they should have that political acumen to participate in political and other activities, social activities. Political activity doesn't only mean that everybody has to stand up for elections and he has to go for elections, but our youth should be in a position to participate in governance, in policy making, in policy analysis. They should have that critical bent of mind, that analytical bent of mind, wherein they can make suggestions in policy development. So these 5 domains need to be worked upon for positive youth development. They should have a very harmonious relationship in their school, and they should live a healthy living, leaving aside the bad habits of junk food and wasting time in unproductive activities. They should inculcate a positive character, have a self direction. Our youth should be self motivated. They need not be motivated by someone. They should know what they have to do and where they have to reach, how they have to reach. So they should be in a position to work in a team and have those right kind of leadership attributes, leadership qualities, which will lead them towards success and engage with communities wherever they need. So these qualities are very, very important. In fact, Richard M. Lerner has written in his book, the Good Teen, that there are six main domains, for youth engagement, six C's, which he calls them: connection, confidence, character, caring attitude, contribution, and competence. Effective youth engagement is not just about fixing problems of behavior, attitude, or any other problem. It is about building and nurturing all the beliefs, behaviors, knowledge, attributes, and skills that result in healthy and productive adolescence and adulthood. So for that, these attributes are very, very important. Our youth should be having that level of confidence, a sense of self-worth and mastery. They should have that character to take responsibility. They should have a caring, sympathetic, and empathetic attitude towards others. They should be in a position to contribute actively and participate in leadership in a variety of settings. They should have the competence to act effectively in school, in social situations, and at work. And they should have that connectivity with others, a feeling of safety, structure, and belonging whenever they. So, other day we were discussing with Somani sir that these days the younger generation is spending a whole lot of time on virtual media, on social media with our electronic gadgets. And most of the times we observe that our youth are spending time in unproductive, useless activities, either watching reels or videos or things which do not make any sense. So, and these things are so attractive and addictive that once you stick to it, a whole day passes without knowing what exactly we have been doing since morning. So we need to know the pros and cons of the virtual world. That is, it has a positive side as well as a negative side. While its positive side that can lead us to education, online education, remote access to resources, virtual classrooms, certification, it can also help us build our career, lead to mentoring of others, professional networking, digital careers, and it can also have positive, significant social networking and civic engagement through digital communities, through activism, through political awareness. And whenever required, it can also give us some amount of entertainment through gaming, through films and movies, through OTT. And that is very much required. We don't say that we should not entertain ourselves, but then it can also help us in building our health, well-being, lifestyle, mental health, physical health, and also help us contribute in our healthcare IT. But the flip side is that if we stick to it in a very unplanned fashion, it can lead to our cognitive decline. It can lead to decline in attention span, media multitasking, decline in memory functions. It can lead to mental health problems, decline in social skills, anxiety, depression, suicidal tendencies. It can land us up into addiction, problematic behavior, then delinquency, cyber crimes, cyber bullying, cyber sex, blackmailing, financial frauds. All these are the flip side, negative side of the technology. And then misinformation. We can become victims of fake news, online extremism, mass hysteria. But so our youth need to be taught about the real right use of technology, right use of the virtual world, and how we can make it productive. So today's goal of this topic of this webinar is Viksit Bharat. We have to orient and channelize the energies of our youth towards developed nation. But there are several models of development. When we talk about development, what kind of model are we going to adopt in order to make our nation a Viksit Bharat by 2047? There are market-based models which work on the market forces. For example, the capitalist model of development. In this model of development, there is private ownership of all the means of production, and there is competition. So is this the right model? No. Then there is socialist model of development in which all the resources, the economy is controlled by the state, and there is a fair distribution of resources among the population. So that is what has happened in UK. The UK United Kingdom has adopted the universal health coverage in health way back in 1948. So since then, all the healthcare is owned by the government, and there is equal distribution of resources among the population. So that is the socialist model. But again, there is a flip. There are its own demerits in this model also. The main difference between socialist and capitalist model is that the level of state intervention is more in socialist model, whereas it is minimal in capitalist model. And the economy should be state led according to the socialist model. But both these models are not very effective. They have not proved to be successful in every setting. Then there is another model, which is welfare model of development, which considers the need to regulate market forces to prevent exploitation. So this model does not allow any kind of exploitation, any kind of overcharging, any kind of profiteering. It ensures that all sections of the population, the last man in the queue, receives the benefit of the schemes. And this runs contrary to capitalist and market-based models. But among all these models, the best model is the sustainable development model, because this is a model which leads towards sustainable development, long-lasting development based on environmental sustainability, ecological sustainability, economic and social sustainability, wherein there is equitable distribution of resources, there is viable use of ecology, and there is a bearable impact on ecology and environment as a result of expansion of society. So this is the model which is sustainable, which embodies the understanding of links between economic advances and human rights, and at the same time takes care of environment. So, when we talk about sustainable development, making our Bharat a Viksit Bharat, that should not come at the cost of ecology, that should not come at the cost of environment. The environmental sustainability has to be maintained at the same time. Ecological sustainability has to be maintained at the same time. So this is the model which will take us to the $35 trillion economy by the year 2047. As of today, India is the fifth largest economy in the world with a GDP of $3,730. But our government is aspiring to make it the third largest economy by the year 2027. Only a couple of days back, we heard our finance minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, saying that by 2027, India will surpass Japan and Germany and become the third largest economy, and our economy will touch $5 trillion. So this is the aspiration. This by 2047, we are aspiring to be $35 trillion economy, and that is very much possible. When we look at how USA, China, and Japan, Germany emerged as the first three largest economies, they developed between 50s and 60s. And in Germany, it was termed as the witchcraft miracle. Similarly in Japan, it emerged out of the Second World War. Atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but still it emerged as the fourth largest economy in 60s and 70s. Same was the case with Singapore and South Korea. South Korean model is known as the Han miracle, Han River miracle. When we look at these countries, how they achieved this goal of becoming a developed country, the key elements of success are innovation-driven industry, entrepreneurship development, trade promotion, government policies and regulations, technological advancements, export-oriented approach, strong manufacturing capabilities, robust service sector, infrastructure development, industrialization, and ongoing efforts to address current challenges. These have been the key ingredients of success. So, in India, we also have our own advantages. We need not always look towards the West. We have our own huge, massive consumer market base of 1.4 billion people, which comprises a very significant labor force. Then we have the demographic dividend of a young population. More than 55% of our population is aged less than 30 years. More than 40% is aged less than 25 years. So we can harp on this demographic dividend and yield maximum benefits out of it. Then our economy is diversified. We are not dependent on any one sector. We have a diversified economy wherein where several sectors are leading: information technology, whether it be the services, whether it be the agriculture, the pharmaceuticals. India is known as the pharmacy of the world, and manufacturing sector. In many areas, India has been contributing to the rest of the world. They have been, for example, in wheat grain production, we have been exporting wheat grain to other countries. Same is the case in case of defense, in case of space technology. We have touched new heights. So this diversity is vital in mitigating the risks from relying too much on a single industry and ensuring overall economic stability. So with these advantages, with these strengths, it is very much possible to move from the developing nation, Vikassheel nation, to Viksit nation, to a developed nation. And that's what our Honorable Prime Minister has in his 75th Independence Day speech on August 15, 2021, unveiled a national blueprint for Amrit Kal. So over the past 75 years, we have been celebrating our independence as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, but that is over now. And now Prime Minister has called upon working towards Azadi Ka Amrit Kal. That is taking us towards Viksit Bharat. So now onwards, it is a 25-year journey which will lead us towards the Viksit Bharat. For that, Prime Minister has laid focus on limited state interference in everyday life, empowering small farmers, rural economy, energy independence with programs such as National Hydrogen Mission, boost to manufacture, technology, infrastructure, startups, employment generation, Gati Shakti National Master Plan, equality for women and vulnerable sections, balanced local development with a particular focus on Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and Northeast. So Shri Narendra Modi ji believes that all the set objectives are possible with citizens' resolve and strength, with which the country will accomplish. So same resolve that our country showed at the time of achieving freedom. Now he has called for the similar resolve, similar strength to achieve this goal of Viksit Bharat and moving from Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to enter the Amrit Kal, which will usher us into a new era of prosperity and equity by decreasing social barriers and transforming lives with knowledge. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has said that this is the period in the history of India when the country is going to take a quantum leap. This is what he said on December 11th while unveiling and launching the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. And he said that for India, this is the time, this is the right time. Yahi samay hai, yahi sahi samay hai. We have our freedom struggle as huge inspiration when national efforts got concentrated as one goal, independence. Today, the aim of our goals, our resolutions should be only one, that is develop India. And while saying all this, Prime Minister said that this idea starts with an I, just like India begins with an I. Therefore, developmental efforts should also begin from our own selves, from ourselves. So I'll, in the later course of time, I'll tell you what we can do at our own individual levels, in our own small and modest way, how we can contribute towards this. And he also said that when citizens in their own roles start doing their duty, the country moves forward. Now, there is a very important thing which he said, the exam date has been declared for us as citizens of the country. We have 25 years of Amrit Kal in front of us. We have to work 24 hours a day. So he said this is an examination date which has been announced, and now we have to prove our worth. Youth power as agents of change and beneficiaries of change, for the youth, by the youth. They are both agents of change as well as the beneficiaries of change. And the roadmap of progress will not be decided by the government, but by the whole nation. And these are the pearls of wisdom given by the Prime Minister. Now, Niti Aayog has chalked out a plan, Niti, National Institute for Transforming India, which has replaced the erstwhile Planning Commission of India. It has chalked out a proper plan for achieving this goal because, Rabindranath Tagore has said that if you simply stand on the shores of a river and just looking at the waters, you will not be able to cross the stream. If you want to cross the stream, you have to jump into the water and you have to swim across. Then only you'll be able to cross the stream. So just setting the goals is not enough. Thinking in your mind that I will do this, accomplish this is not enough. Unless you have a proper vision, roadmap, proper plan, how to achieve that goal. So Niti Aayog has given these key components for achieving this goal. That is renewable energy revolution, scaling up the deployment of solar, wind, hydro, and other green energy sources, sustainable agriculture and food security, sustainable farming practices, water conservation and soil health management, then eco-friendly transportation, adoption of electric vehicles and improved public transportation systems. Then also it has given us the circular economy. This is a very important term which needs to be understood. What is meant by circular economy? This is an economy, a model of economy which bases on recycling, reduced waste generation, promotes recycling and responsible consumption. So this will lead us from mindless consumption to mindful utilization. Nowadays, we are consuming everything mindlessly, generating a lot of waste, generating a lot of emission through our industries, which is in turn harming the climate, harming our ozone layer. So if this waste generation is reduced, recycling is promoted, and the shelf life of the products is increased, by establishing more and more micro and small scale industry rather than big industry. This is what circular economy envisages to do. And then there is concept of green infrastructure, which lays emphasis on eco-friendly and resilient infrastructure, climate resilient projects, green buildings, and sustainable urban planning. But this is the key components which have been devised by the Niti Aayog, wherein they have. So this is the snapshot of Economic Survey 22-23. In this, no, we know where we have to reach by 2047 if we want to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat. But the question is, where do we stand as of today? This is the snapshot of Indian economy as of today, as per Economic Survey of 2022-23. Wherein, as you can see, the fiscal deficit is at 6.4% GDP. The inflation is at 11.5% wholesale price index and 6.8% consumer price index. The foreign exchange reserves have increased considerably from 2019 to 2022. The agriculture and allied activities have also shown a growth rate of 3.5%. Industrial growth has increased, and services sector also is showing a growth rate of 9.1%. So this is the situation as of today, but there is a lot more to achieve. Our GDP has taken a flip from 3.7 in 2019 to 6.8 in 2023, and it has to touch 7.5 in order to have a 35 trillion economy by 2047. So this is the present scenario of our economy, and we have to take it forward. So what is the roadmap? What is the way forward? How to achieve this? I think, in my humble opinion, the way forward is the Sustainable Development Goals, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, wherein United Nations has set up 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I know it all started way back in 1975 at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, when the Earth Summit was held and Agenda 21 was set up. But then another summit was held by United Nations in its headquarters at New York, which was termed as the Millennium Summit in the year 2000, when the Millennial Development Goals were developed, 8 of them. But their validity was up to 2015. So in 2015, another summit was held at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which was termed as the Sustainable Development Summit. And in this, 17 goals were set up, which also have 100 indicators and several targets. So these goals, need to be achieved at the first and foremost, because though their validity is only up to 2030, we need to take them to 2047. Goal 1 deals with no poverty. Goal 2 is zero hunger. Goal 3 is good health and well-being. Goal 4 is quality education. 5 deals with gender equality. 6 deals with clean water and sanitation. 7 deals with affordable and clean energy. 8 deals with decent work and economic growth. Goal 9 deals with industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 10 deals with reduced inequality. 11 deals with sustainable cities and communities. 12 deals with responsible consumption and production. 13 deals with climate action. 14 with life below water. 15 life on land. 16 peace, justice, and strong institutions. And 17 deals with partnership for the goals. So if we work work towards the achievement and attainment of these very goals, this will lay a foundation towards our attainment of our own goal. But when there was a report released by the United Nations early last year in 2023 about the progress on these sustainable development goals, wherein it was observed that on 50% of goals, the progress is not so good. In 30% of goals, the progress is weak, and in some cases it's negative. So that is a matter of concern on which the countries are putting their heads together and trying to find out ways and means on which by which we can have some considerable tangible progress on these goals. So that is very important to achieve some significant progress in. Now, what we as individuals can do in achieving these goals, I will jump a few slides and take you directly to this particular slide on how we can contribute. We as Prime Minister said, that I starts with India starts with I, and this also starts with I. So we have to start from our own selves. Therefore, in case of goal one, no poverty, what can we do? Donate whatever you don't use. Whatever we don't use, we should donate. More than 700 million people still live in extreme poverty. Similarly, in case of goal two, that is zero hunger, waste less food and support local farmers. This is the role where the youth can play. Our young generations can play in increasing awareness, in motivating people, in inspiring them towards these attainment of these goals and contributing in their little way. For example, goal three is good health and well-being. So we can vaccinate our family. Vaccinations have resulted in 80% drop of measles deaths between 2000 and 2017. So whether it is the COVID vaccination or any other vaccination, immunization of our newborn, we need to take initiatives in vaccination. We need to take initiatives of towards good lifestyles, living a healthy lifestyle, well-being. And in terms of goal four, quality education, what can we do? We can help educate the children in our own communities. Wherever some children don't have any access to education, we can help them get educated. And then gender equality, we can empower women and girls and ensure their equal rights, first within our own families, then within our own work areas, in our schools and colleges. In case of goal six, we can avoid wasting water in order to increase clean water and sanitation. And then in order to have affordable and clean energy, our youth can use only energy efficient appliances and light bulbs, spread the knowledge and information about the same. For decent work and economic growth, we can create job opportunities, become entrepreneurs, adopt innovation incubation, and have startups so that we can employ other people also. Then industry innovation and infrastructure can be promoted by funding projects that provide basic infrastructure, getting funding for such projects, which will increase our basic infrastructure. For reducing inequalities, we can support the marginalized communities, disadvantaged groups. For sustainable cities and communities, we can bike, walk, or use public transport. For responsible consumption and production, we can recycle paper, plastics, glass, and aluminum. And for climate action, we can act now to stop global warming. Global emissions of carbon dioxide have increased almost 50%. So we can take appropriate measures to decrease the emissions, make less use of electrical appliances, and a life below water. This can be promoted by avoiding plastic bags. We should stop throwing stuff into the water bodies, lakes, oceans, and we should plant the trees, each one plant one. If each one of us plants a tree, that can make a huge difference in our environment. Similarly, for peace, justice, and strong institutions, we can stand up for human rights. For building partnerships, we can lobby with our government to boost development financing. So this model, the Sustainable Development Goals envisaged by United Nations, this is the most current development model and is the most sustainable development model, which attempts to address globally the need for economic development, ecological preservation, upholding of human rights, environmental protection. I think we all need to work towards this sustainable development model in order to make our country a Viksit Bharat. And then what are the major areas of concern? If we look at the major areas of concern, to me, it seems that population growth is one of the major areas of concern. See, the rate at which our economy is growing should be higher than the rate at which our population is growing. Because if there is a virtual race between the economy and the population, if population grows at a faster rate, then there will be a lot of pressure on our natural resources, man-made resources, healthcare, education, employment opportunities, and land mass available for agriculture. Therefore, we have already crossed 140 crores, And by the year 2047, it is estimated by United Nations that we will be 164 crores, and half of which will be living in urban areas. So this will have a lot of pressure on our resources, on our land mass. So we need to strike a balance between economic growth and population growth. But we cannot have a forcible, for example, China introduced one child policy in 1975. In 2019, they are faced with a problem of very less population, the problem of population decline, and they are faced with a problem of child sex ratio. They are faced with a problem of aging population. They are faced with a problem of less reproductive women. So that should not be the case, and that is what forced China to adopt a two-child policy in 2015, followed by three-child policy in 2019. But still, they are not able to cope up with these challenges, which I have just now mentioned. Same is the case with Iran. Iran also, a few years back, forced a one-child policy, but then it had to revert back. And today, it is implementing no vasectomies in the government health centers, and use of contraceptives is limited to only such women who have to use it for some health issue. Otherwise, so because there is a decline in the population growth by less than 1% in Iran. So that should not happen, because our population is also a big workforce, and we need to make our population productive, but strike a balance between economic growth and population growth. Then second problem which we need to overcome is the poverty alleviation, for which already Niti Aayog has come up with multi-dimensional poverty index, wherein a good scenario has been observed over the last 10 years. As per this index, 24.9% Indians were assessed as multidimensionally poor in 2015, but this has come down to 15% now in 2019, and from 2019 onwards, further it has come down. So there is progress in nutrition, but further progress needs to be made in years of schooling, sanitation, standard of living, availability of cooking gas, maternal health, drinking water, assets and bank accounts. All these things are very important parameters for achieving poverty alleviation. Third issue of concern is enhancing the rate of literacy. Again, a lot of improvement has been seen in this over the last 10 years, but there are some states which have still less than 80% literacy. For example, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Arunachal, Bihar, Rajasthan, and even Jammu and Kashmir has less than 80%. So we need to focus more on these states where the literacy rate is less than 80%. And UNESCO has also given a report that India will achieve universal literacy in the year 2060. But we need to work harder, and we need to achieve this universal literacy by the year 2047. So we need to put our heads together and see how we can achieve it. As of today, the literacy rate is 77.7%. And this needs to be increased further. National Education Policy is doing wonders, a revolutionary policy which has come out after 34 years, first policy of the 21st century, which seeks to make gross enrollment ratio to 50% by the year 2035. It also seeks to decrease the school dropout rates, bring parity in college population index, institutional density, pupil-teacher ratio, gender parity index. So these are very important indices of education. And then the problem of employment opportunities. We need to create more and more job opportunities for our youth. Our youth should be driven towards entrepreneurship development, innovation incubation, startup culture, so that they can generate employment for others also. And the problem is that overall, the fertility rates are decreasing throughout the world. More than 102 countries have reported that population is aging very fast. But we have the dividend, the demographic dividend, which we need to capitulate on, which we need to draw our benefits from and harp on. And then I will just rush through some of the slides. We need to promote micro, small, and medium industries, because these are the backbone of our country's economy. They contribute more than 30% to our GDP, and they are also accountable for 1/3 of our manufacturing output. So our government needs to constitute a high-level technical committee to look into the strengths, weaknesses, threats, opportunities, and challenges before this MSME sector. And we need to revolutionize our agriculture sector. We need to increase the food grain production. Already we are self-sufficient in terms of wheat, sugar, but we need to increase it in terms of other grain also. and we need to have adopt the digital transformation. Currently, we're going through the fourth industrial revolution, but we're at the cusp of fifth industrial revolution, which will be marked by an interface between cybernetic systems and humans. So we are going through the cognitive age. Therefore, we need to adopt these new age technologies of cloud computing, artificial intelligence, blockchain revolutions, robotics, and all, so that our youth could be well versed with these technologies. Our youth need to have value added courses in these technologies so that we can keep pace with the changing world and confront the challenges of the future. Our school children need to be taught coding. They need to be taught this software development and cloud computing very early in their career, so that India can also achieve that digital transformation in healthcare, in education, each and every sector, in e-governance, well in time. We need to embrace the technology. In health, we have made considerable progress in terms of infant mortality rate, which has decreased, neonatal mortality rate, which has decreased, and access and affordability has been enhanced through Ayushman Bharat, Jan Aushadhi Yojana, Poshan Abhiyan, and Anemia Mukta Abhiyan. So there are several government schemes, landmark schemes, which have done wonders in making the affordable healthcare accessible to all the people. The out-of-pocket expenditures have reduced. See, in 2013, the out-of-pocket expenditure was 64%, but it has reduced to 48% in 2018. Similarly, this government health expenditure was only 28.6%. It has increased to 40%. So these are good indicators. Similarly, in education, the total enrollment has increased from 2016 to 2020. Similarly, the number of teachers in higher education, number of universities, number of colleges, number of IITs has increased drastically. And this has led to accessibility of education, but decline in out-of-pocket expenditure. So all this has considerably improved the various indices. But then there are many other indices which we need to look into for achieving our goal of Viksit Bharat. If we have the Kushal Bharat, Viksit Bharat, Kushal Bharat Human Development Index, we need to take care of this. Social Development Index, Green Index, International Human Suffering Index, diverse indices like Poverty Index, Corruption Perception Index, Gender Equality Index, World Press Freedom Index, focus on happiness and well-being, regular monitoring and evaluation. Already we are doing well in many of these indices. Our Niti Aayog has released reports which has shown considerable improvement over the last 10 years, but a lot needs to be done to bring it to the highest level. So now there are few things which our students need to learn and they need to study. There is a conference on climate change happening. Recently, it was held in Dubai, COP28. So what are the resolutions adopted in that COP28? So these are the resolutions and these are the areas which have been highlighted. So our students, they need to know what are these areas, how we can contribute towards decreasing the climate change. See, in Kashmir, in this season, we used to have plenty of snow, but this year there is no snow. Our tourist places like Gulmarg, Sonamarg, and Pahalgam are without any snow. Whereas in this time of the season year, there used to be 3 feet, 4 feet snow. So the climate change is impacting the live routines very much drastically. That's why our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has called for Lifestyle for the Environment campaign. This Lifestyle for Environment campaign was introduced by our Prime Minister in Glasgow during COP26 in 2021, calling upon the global community of individuals and institutions to drive this life as an international mass movement. This life puts individual and collective duty on everyone to live a life that is in tune with Earth and does not harm our planet. Those who practice such a lifestyle are recognized as pro-planet, pro-people. So there are some 7 categories of 75 live actions. So our students need to know and learn how they can contribute in these 75 live actions. There, for example, main important areas are energy consumption, water consumption, reduce consumption of single-use plastic, adopting sustainable food systems, reduction of wastage, adoption of healthy lifestyles, and reduction of e-waste. Similarly, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankarji, while inaugurating the Biotech Startup Expo on 4th of January 2024 at Jammu, Kathua, he said that there are 5 parameters or Panch Tantra which are fundamental to the growth and progress of any nation. So I found these Panchtantras very important. They include peace and stability, equality of law, transparency and accountability in governance, an ecosystem that favors meritocracy and empowerment of women. So if we work on these 5 Panchtantras, I'm sure we will make a lot of progress in each and every sphere of our life. Similarly, Prime Minister has given 9 agrahas, 9 sankalps on 18th of December during inauguration of Swarved Mahamandir at Varanasi. So our students need to know what are these 9 agrahas, what are these sankalps on which we need to work. And lastly, I will read the poem by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore entitled Where the Mind is Without Fear. So where the mind is without fear and head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So, with these pearls of wisdom, I conclude my topic and thank once again the D.Y. Patil College of Pharmacy, Dr. Rakesh Romani sir, for giving me this opportunity to interact with our youth, our students on this very important day, National Youth Day, and conveying the message given by Shri Swami Vivekananda ji, so that even if a few people take a few things seriously, it will make a big difference. And I'm sure with collective efforts, collective wisdom, we are all going to achieve our dream of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. Thank you very much to all of you.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, it was just like that. We should listen to you for hours together. So
Thank you,
many,
sir.
so many pointers, so many notes, sir. Very good, very beautiful. Yeah. So please
Thank
take
you.
it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much, sir. Very
In fact,
enjoyable.
I would just request you, Madam Rushali, Madam.
Yes.
There are several students from few different colleges who are attending this, webinars. So if any student would like to ask anything,
Yes, please. Yes,
that
please.
would be great kind of interaction for a couple of minutes.
Yes,
Anything
sir.
regarding this, yeah. So whosoever, maybe I am seeing that students from our college is also there, student from college at Ratnagiri, Khed, they are also attending this thing, So anyone, any student, those who are listening to my voice, please, if any question, either you, request for, unmuting yourself.
Yeah, you can just raise your hand so that we know
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, Kirtibala madam, you are able to hear me there? Kirti madam, if yes, can you ask any of the audience to speak? I mean, ask something. Any other students who are there in the virtual platform, if anything you would like to ask?
let me just check on YouTube as well.
Yeah. If any question on the YouTube, yeah.
Actually, the amount of knowledge that we got in such a short span of time, I think we're still processing all the data.
Yeah,
Like
that's
sir said, I have also
It
been
so
typing for
happens,
so long.
right? It so happens that we mostly remain confined to our own professions, our
profession.
streams of knowledge, and we don't think beyond that, beyond pharmacy. And usually, we know our concentration is always on clearing the exams and getting our certificates. But there is a whole world even beyond our own streams of knowledge. That is what national education policy now envisages, to break these silos and compartments, have a multidisciplinary kind of attitude, outlook, and develop those insights which will have cross boundary these thoughts. So that's why I thought it'll be prudent to take our students on a journey beyond our own realms of pharmacy and healthcare, And I hope that the students might have found it interesting and gained some
Yeah.
insights about
So
these
there
streams
is a
of
question,
development.
sir. Somebody is asking a question.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
ma'am. Yeah, somebody. Please.
Just ask.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask, according to you, what shall be our contribution for this mission, Viksit Mission 2047?
Sorry, it was not clear to me.
audible.
Can you come forward and ask near to the mic, please? Whoever has asked the question, quickly.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask our contribution regarding to this mission Viksit 2047.
Yes.
What shall we contribute?
Yeah, our contribution, which I mentioned in one of my slides, in achievement of the sustainable development goals, whether it is in terms of reducing the poverty, increasing the education, conserving water, conserving energy, reducing the emissions, reducing carbon footprint, in whatever little way. Even if you switch off a bulb, that will be a contribution on you from your side. Even if you educate 1 or 2 children, that will be a contribution from your side. Even if you close a running tap, which is wastage of water, that will be a contribution from your side. And the sky is the limit. That is the smallest thing which you can do. If you switch off a lamp which is not needed, but sky is the limit. You can teach as many people as you want. You can plant as many trees as you want. You can have awareness programs. You can make your own students aware about all these things. And then you can contribute. You can write a book or write a paper, write an article. And there are a whole lot of ways and means by which we can contribute in our own small, modest manner. But ultimately, we are the engines of change. Our youth, our students, they have to emerge as successful entrepreneurs. You can encourage your students to become entrepreneurs, to become innovators, to have startups. You can encourage them to have creative thinking, analytical bent of mind. You can encourage them to question, so that they come out with solutions to our contemporary problems, contemporary issues. And you can have that kind of mindset wherein our students will be exposed to real life situations. You can take them to communities, to societies, so that they can contribute in community outreach and extension activities, and they can somehow lend a helping hand to someone. There are a whole lot of ways and means by which we can contribute. And if nothing, we can spread awareness, spread information, and at least we can, there is this saying that if you can't abhor something which is wrong through your actions, at least in your heart you can have that, oh, this is wrong. But same holds good for something which is good. So if you are not in a position to make any big change, whatever little small change you can make, and you can have that in your heart, that see, government has given us this concept of Viksit Bharat. We need to support it. We need with all our might, tan man dhan se hame iska pura support karna hai, so that government will achieve these objectives. And I salute the government for devising a plan for next 25 years, which no other government has done so far. Everybody used to think about their own term, but first time this has come up. So all these countrymen need to stand up and stand out, and they need to support this and contribute in a very significant manner.
Thank you, sir.
Rushali madam, meanwhile, other student, they put their question. I have one question.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
please.
So before that, it was indeed very inspiring session for the youth. Sir, my question is, how can collaboration between different sectors and industries be fostered to create more opportunities for the youth involved in the development?
Yeah, first of all, we need to have academia industry interaction at our institutional level. Our institution, our colleges and universities need to have that collaboration with the industry. We need to, now national education policy also says that you take your students to the field, they give them projects, have project-based learning, field-based learning, problem-based learning, and take them to the industry where they will be given projects and problems to solve them. So first of all, that kind of collaboration can be developed between academia and industry. Then second type of collaboration between academia and society, by adopting certain villages, by adopting certain communities. If you go to those communities, make your students visit those communities, identify their problems and come out with solutions based on their education, training, skills. They can come out with certain, so these problems could be related to water, supply of drinking water, transportation, roads, agriculture or plantation, anything. So your students could, or it could be related to healthcare. It could be related to use of medicines, pharmacoepidemiology, pharmacoeconomics, the affordability of medicines. So, or for example, this antimicrobial resistance. So anything could be handled. So that is the second level of collaboration, wherein the academia needs to collaborate with the society, with the community, and then inter-academia collaboration, the academic bank of credits. For example, the way we are joining hands, APTI J&K is joining hands with APTI Maharashtra. But these kinds of collaborations need to be fostered more and more. More and more associations, organizations, professional bodies, they need to network, they need to collaborate so that they can have these topics of mutual interest, and they can come out with solutions and they can come out with recommendations. At every level, you can have this kind of collaboration with the industry, with the academia, with the society, with the government, with other stakeholders, market forces, and we need to train our students in all these things, in financial matters, in governance matters, administrative matters. Apart from giving them knowledge about pharmacy and drug manufacturing, drug design, we need to tell them about these aspects as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, you can take it
Yes.
further.
No, I think like sir said, when he said it has to be I that we need to start with, and students should also understand that all the changes are going to start with individuals, and we are here to help.
True.
So a sustainable Viksit Bharat, the real Amrit Kal that we are envisaging with effective youth engagement, like sir said, is going to start with some small changes that we can start with in our life and continue to do for till we go to a fact that we want entrepreneurs and we want people to create jobs so that we tackle those problems of poverty and everything. So feedback form is posted in the chat box. Do fill it and help us know how we're doing. And also ensure that you write your details correctly to prevent any problems for the future database. I now request just 1 minute. Sorry.
And ma'am, quickly
One
take
second.
some photographs also. Someone,
Yes.
please, yeah. Maybe Abu Sufyan sir, maybe you or Madam whosoever is possible. Please take few photographs
1 second.
of all the participants. You can ask them to.
Yeah, can we have those who are there on screen? Can we have you switch on your cameras?
I am seeking people from across the state, across the country, in fact.
Rather, we have had a phenomenal response today. We had around
True.
300 registrations and we have more than 200 people attending today.
Great.
So with students across sitting like this in classrooms and attending in all colleges, I think this is a very effective webinar that we have had for
Yes,
students
yes.
and faculty.
Very true. Very true.
of course.
Yeah.
So now I request
Done, sir.
Yeah. Now I request my colleague, Dr. Abu Sufyan sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rushali madam. Respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, and the participant, I, Sheikh Abu Sufyan from AIKTC School of Pharmacy, New Panvel, and proudly representing as a member of APTI team Karya Kaushalam, seize this moment to express our sincere gratitude as we draw the curtain on this enlightening webinar. This event has been organized by Association of Pharmacy Teachers of India, Maharashtra State and Jammu and Kashmir in collaboration with our dedicated team Karya Kaushalam. Our collective aim today was to delve into a pivotal topic of role of youth in accomplishing the mission of Viksit Bharat. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the esteemed participants, today's speaker and organizer who have contributed to the success of this event. Your active involvement and thoughtful engagement have truly enriched the discussion. Special appreciation goes to Dr. Geer M. Ishaq, President of APTI Jammu and Kashmir, for sharing his valuable insight and expertise with us. His depth of knowledge and commitment to the cause has undoubtedly enriched our understanding of the role of youth in shaping the future of our nation. We express our heartfelt appreciation to Dr. Rakesh Somani, President of APTI Maharashtra State and convener of this program. His leadership and dedication have been instrumental for providing such valuable platform for pharma fraternity. A big thanks to Professor Roshali Keer for her engaging and articulate anchoring. We would also like to extend our gratitude to Professor Vinod Mule for efficiently handling the registration process, feedback collection, and participant communication. Last but not least, a sincere thanks to Dr. Sneha Bagale for providing technical support and ensuring the flawless execution of the webinar. As we conclude this event, I request all the participants to give feedback of the event release in a chat box. Let us carry forward the inspiration and insight gained today into our respective spheres, working collectively towards the vision of developed Bharat by 2047. Thank you all for being a part of this meaningful event, and we look forward to more such enriching endeavor in the future. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
very
Let's
much
close it.
once again.
Thank you.
Let's
Okay,
close it.
welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you, sir.